What's up, guys? We are making another video, and today we actually have something pretty cool going on. I got myself a Asomtom Q7 mountain bike. It's actually an e-bike, which is like you can use it as an analog mountain bike with it off, or you can turn it on and actually, like, it's got a throttle on it. You can take off on it, you know. So Tim and I are riding around. I'm going to kind of show you what this bike can do. It is pretty fun. I'll do some flybys with Tim because this thing goes a little over 30 miles an hour, actually, if you're really hauling. So one of the nice things right out the bat with this that I really liked is how clear the display is. It's actually cool. It has a lot of different settings on it. You have a bunch of different speed modes as well. Let's see, you got 0 through 5. 5 obviously being the fastest, 1 being the slowest. This bike also is equipped with a throttle, so you don't even have to pedal at all. You can just give it the throttle like a motorcycle, and this thing will just start freaking going. The cool thing about this bike, though, is when you are in one of these speed modes on the display, it actually is assisted for the pedal, if that makes sense. So if I don't give it any throttle and I start pedaling, it is essentially giving it throttle right now. It is assisting me pedaling. So if you're going up a large hill, or if you're just trying to pick up a lot of speed, you can just choose your speed here, start pedaling, and this thing will take off. Like you can see, okay, let's just pedal for a second and see how fast this will go. I'm not giving it any throttle. Look at this thing's going like almost 30 miles an hour. It's crazy. And with this bike, you do have the option to bring this down to 0, right? So there's no assist. The engine is essentially off, no throttle, and you can just treat it as a normal mountain bike. You can take this thing off-road because it is all-terrain. You can stick in the streets, whatever you prefer. And this is your gear shift up here with your thumb. Right now we're in gear 5. I can click it down to 4, and it shifts back there. And now if you're trying to go uphill, you're in a much easier pedaling position, if that makes sense. Well, here, I'm gonna hop off the bike really quick and kind of show you what we're looking at so you guys can get a better idea what this thing looks like overall. So first off, the obvious things that are cool is the brakes are hydraulic brakes on the front and the back. So you have rear hydraulic brakes with the brake pads, and then you also have the same exact setup on the front, which is actually really nice. You do have full suspension on the front, and you can actually lock it or open it. So if you guys are like ripping, say Tim and I want to go off-road and ride it, you can unlock the suspension. Actually, I just locked it. You can open it, and this thing has full suspension in the front if you want to go roll over some rough stuff or jump anything, right? But if you want to stay on the streets, you can just lock it up. And now the suspension is stiff, so it's more of like a street bike, if that makes sense. The battery can completely pop out of here for recharging, or you can just charge it in the bike with this port right here. It takes about 6 hours to fully charge it. It lasts up to 45 miles on an entire charge, they say. So far, what's cool is it also auto recharges when you're riding it. So the other day we rode it down to about 80%. And then yesterday we rode it for a while again, and it recharged itself all the way to 100%, which is pretty crazy. It also has a nice little headlight on it, which you can turn on for at night, and it is pretty bright. It's fully adjustable. And then this is what I was talking about as we were riding with the regular gear shift. So if you don't even want to use the motor at all, you can ride this just like a normal mountain bike or a street bike and use the analog shifter up top. And it literally is just like a normal bike, which is actually really cool. So even if this thing is dead, you can still hop on it and ride it like a normal bike. The frame itself is insanely solid, actually, like solid. You don't have to worry about anything. The welds are nice, pedals are super solid. And then obviously for safety, they got to throw on the reflectors on the front back wheel, and then technically this is considered a tail light. It's just a reflector on the back, but it does the trick. The seat is actually overall pretty comfortable for what it is, but I do think we have to break it in a little bit more because it's a little stiff. But other than that, it actually is pretty nice. Back to the display. There's tons of options on here. Right now it's in eco mode. If you press the info button here, you can change it to like display your average speed, display your time while you're riding, how much power you're putting out, how long you went on this trip. Again, this thing goes about 45 miles on a charge roughly, and also max speed, like how fast you took it on this trip. And then the motor that runs this thing as you're riding it, that assists it or just gets it going if you're not pedaling, is mounted. It's all like the hub right here on the back wheel of the bike, and that's where you get your power. It's pretty cool. And it does have some pretty fat all-terrain tires on it. They inflate to about like 20 psi, so I'm pretty sure they have a tube inside of them. But yeah, you can take this thing off-road. We actually haven't really taken it off-road yet, so we might do some of that really quick just to test it out. And again, this is the Asomtom Q7, if you're curious what model this is exactly. But we're going to test it really quick and see what kind of top speed we can get, and then I'm going to film Tim flying by so you can see kind of how fast it does go. Yeah, so let's get to riding it. All right, so Tim and I swapped vehicles quick. I hopped on our electric longboard. I'm gonna get some third-person footage of the bike so you can see what it actually looks like. Oh, I just went through a whole freaking puddle of water, dude. So I'm gonna go in front of Tim really quick. He's gonna take that about as fast as he can get it to go, and I'll show you just how quick the thing is. It picks up speed pretty quick. I believe it said it takes 7, maybe 8 seconds to get up to like 30 miles an hour, which compared to a motorcycle may sound slow, but this thing goes, dude. I mean, that's cruising pretty quick. But like I said, it's cool with the assist pedal because if you're actually trying to get somewhat of a workout in, if you want to say, you can pedal and go. And if it's getting a little tough, you can just stop pedaling and just send it with the throttle. Tim, we'll go on that straight on El Mirage. What was that at? Like, was that 30 yet? Oh gosh, okay, so we'll go faster. I'll go a little farther. Once we turn out here, I'll go farther up so you can like...
I'll really go all the way down to the end of it.
Dude, you can also put it, like shift it into the highest gear, like the actual gear, yeah. Like into 7, it's like bigger pedals, right? So it'll make you go faster. All right, so Tim's gonna go to the end of the road and so we can get the bike up to speed. I'm gonna wait here so we can see the full speed test. We do have it on the display. We have it set to the max speed setting. So it'll show us exactly how fast it recorded on the way over here. So I'm thinking Tim will get it just over 30 miles an hour probably, which is again pretty quick. I must say I do have a lot of electric toys that we pick up because they're a lot of fun and you can do a lot of stuff on them, and I like you can just recharge them. But this so far is actually one of my favorite ones, and it's actually probably the fastest one I have, to be honest. I should get ready to turn around here because Timmy's coming. All right, I want to know what it was. All right, so since he just passed, it looked like, I'm gonna say like 30 miles an hour, 0.6 or something. How fast? I'm guessing like 30.6. 31 and a half? Holy crap, dude, that's the fastest. So the other night I got to like 31.2. Dude, do you think it could go faster or no? No? Okay, so it goes about 31 and a half miles an hour. That was with Tim pedaling, and I think he had the gear set. So it was at what, 5 speed, and then at gear 7? Yeah. So basically the thing maxed out with him pedaling and full sport mode or whatever. 31 and a half miles an hour. That's, honestly though, it's pretty quick. Dude, we could take in the dirt really quick. Just like right here. Do you have the suspension open? Okay. Yeah, I'll hop up the curb really quick. All right, so this is the first time we took this thing in the dirt. We're gonna kind of test it out and see what the suspension feels like. I wanna see if I can see the suspension actually like, is that muddy? Oh, that is muddy. Oh, it sounds like it engages. Yeah, you can feel it. So this is the ultimate test. This is where Tim and I used to bring the Honda Groms out and we'd rip up all over here. So this is kind of like our dirt area. So if this thing feels pretty smooth in the dirt, then I can honestly say the suspension on it is quite solid, so that's good. Another thing to take note, if you guys pick yourselves up one of these bikes, if you're going to store it and not ride it for a while, you're supposed to let it sit at about 75% battery life. That's what's healthiest for the battery, at least. And the weight limit on it is 330 pounds, so you can fit a lot of person on there. All right, Tim and I are gonna swap quick. I'm gonna see what this suspension feels like in first person here. So does it feel okay in the dirt? Yeah? Okay, cool. Dude, this thing, it picks up pretty quick right when you start pedaling. For me right now, I'm gonna turn the setting down just a bit because the minute you start pedaling, this thing just wants to go. That assist, it really kicks in. The suspension feels pretty good so far, at least off-road. Let's try to hit some bumps here and see what it feels like. And on top of it, there's a little bit of shock absorbing springs in the seat, which helps dampen the ride when you're off-road. And then again, the big fat tires on it are made for all terrain, so it really helps kind of smoothen the ride out. But let's go ahead and turn the assist fully off and kind of just ride this thing analog here. Just shift through the gears manually. See what it feels like. We'll wait for Timmy to catch up. Actually, we'll turn around and ride back to Tim. So right now we're in gear 3. And it's worth mentioning the gears shift very smoothly on the back with the chain. So far it feels solid. Got to turn around here. So there you guys can see Tim reached 31.4 miles an hour, which is pretty quick on this thing. Another thing, when you are riding this at night, to turn on the headlight, you hold this plus icon until it shows the headlight. There you go. On the display, so now the headlight is on, and when you're riding at night, obviously you want to have that thing on so you can be visible, and it makes it a lot easier to ride around, see where you're going. And to turn it off, same thing. Hold it down, and now the headlight's off. All right, back we go, dude. It is hot. So it's been a little rainy here lately in Arizona, so it's pretty humid actually compared to normal. I bet you it's like 50% humidity today. And on top of that, it's probably still about 100 degrees or so. But yeah, so it's warm. All right, I'm gonna shift this up. One more thing worth mentioning is you can turn this throttle on and off with this button here. It's just a push button. Right now it's off, and then if you want to turn it back on, you just click it, give it a click. There we go. So yeah, the throttle is just twist turn right on the end of your hand. So again, if you don't even feel like pedaling, as you can see, I'm not pedaling at all. You just give it some throttle and you're pretty much riding this thing like a motorcycle, essentially, same thing. The left lever is front brake, there's Timmy, and the right lever is rear brake. And guys, the customer service for these bikes is excellent. Everything came in super fast, and the install, which is very important, went together great. They have an entire in-depth video online, and they walk you through everything. I think I had this thing put together in like 10 minutes maybe. It was very quick. And then you just plug this thing in, let it charge for 6 hours, and then you're ready to rip it. All in all, guys, there's been about 4 of us that have ridden this thing since I got it. We all love it. It's definitely the fastest electric vehicle we have at the house, and it's definitely one of my favorite for just that alone, to be honest. I do love that I can just take this out as a bicycle, even if it's dead. Like, that's pretty cool. The battery life on it is insane, not to mention how quickly it recharges itself. There will be a link in the description to the bike to go purchase your own. If you're looking for an e-bike, I would definitely recommend this for sure. Dang, bro. It's gonna run us over. It's going like 30. But yeah, links in the description. Make sure to go check them out. I will also include a link in the description for the install video. So if you guys do get yourself a bike, you can go ahead and watch the install video. It makes it so much easier. But yeah, now since I have a bike like this, I'll probably start doing some videos exploring on this thing, to be honest, and make the most out of it. Thanks for watching the video, guys. Make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.